Let's talk about how Iran established the deterrence equation with respect to nuclear infrastructure this time. Yes, nuclear infrastructure. You see, there's a place called Natanz in Iran. Iran has multiple nuclear infrastructure that are critical to its nuclear, capabilities. One of them is Natanz, another is Isfahan, another is in Fordo, another is in Pachin, another is in Bushehr. There are multiple. Iran has a lot of oil of nuclear infrastructure scattered across the 1.6 to 1.8 square, million square kilometers. It's a massive country with a lot of rock and a lot of hardened structures under which they can hide this critical infrastructure. So, yesterday night, while the vast majority of you were sleeping, again, Israel made a play. They made a play for Natanz. Actually, the Iranians had evacuated most of what was critical of the critical infrastructure in Natanz. But because Natanz was at surface level above soil, it was easy for Israel to at least make a dash for it and then at least, do something that will make them and their people feel good that we attacked something of value in Iran, evacuated or not, or at least that is or was of value to the nuclear industry of Iran. Again, Iran immediately kicked in the deterrence equation. However, there is a nuance this time. All of the Gulf countries in that environment have absolutely no nuclear industry, effectively. Even a civilian nuclear infrastructure, none of them had anything of such. So Iran left all the Gulf countries alone. This time around, the Gulf countries did not need to pay the price of deterrence because there was no equivalent nuclear infrastructure for Iran to take down in any of the Gulf countries. This time around, it was a direct Israel to Iran, matter when it comes to deterrence. And what happened? Israel has only one major nuclear city where it hosts its infrastructure. I listed several for Iran, and the list is not even exhaustive. But in the case of Israel, they have just one. And that nuclear infrastructure is in an area of Israel called Dimona. Note it very well. Dimona. Dimona. That is the city in Israel that hosts all or almost all of its nuclear infrastructure. So what did Iran do? Iran waited till when we were sleeping and Iran went for the Muna with a hypersonic ballistic missile. It was massive. The videos were really scary. The speed of the descent of the warhead of the hypersonic ballistic, as in a ballistic missile, actually showed that that missile was truly hypersonic. If you blink, you would miss it. They went for Dimona, circa 12 kilometers from the actual nuclear reactor, so as not to create a nuclear effluent, but the message was passed. The casualty numbers really scary. The infrastructural destruction in that area massive, as can be seen from the videos. The injured numbers not good. The dead numbers, I think they are counting 2021 from that attack alone. After they did Dimona, to even establish the deterrence even more, to remind the Israelis of why they should not or never go after any nuclear infrastructure of Iran anymore. They attacked yet another nearby settlement beside the monarch called Arad. Crater, not good. In fact, the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, had to do a special press release to isolatedly commiserate with the victims of Arad and Dimona. Just them alone, since all of the casualties that they've been incurring since the war started over 3 weeks ago. That was how bad the images were. That was how bad the casualty numbers were. That was how much of fear it struck into the minds of rank and file Israelis. You will remember the Minister of Police Affairs in Israel. His name is Benvir. Benvir. Ben, dash Gvir. Benvir. That was his name. He went to Dimona and Arad to visit them. And the people of Dimona and Arad, fellow Israelis, actually fought back against him. In fact, they called him a Nazi. They called him a Judeo-Nazi. Imagine an Israeli calling another Israeli a Judeo-Nazi. That was how angry, how disillusioned, and how depressed they were. And they were accusing him that it is because you guys are firing at the Iranians that they are descending on us this month. Essentially, go and stop attacking the Iranians so that they can stop attacking us. That is the classic deterrence equation. Make your adversary remember every reason regularly why they must not make a play for you if they don't want you to make a bigger or equivalent play for them and what matters of the property and or infrastructure. So that is the nuclear deterrence equation vis-a-vis Iran on one side and Israel on the other side, excluding the Gulf countries this time because they do not host any critical or important nuclear infrastructure. I will see you in the next video. Remember to like, to share, to follow, to broadcast, comment, and please ask your questions, and I'll gladly answer them. Thank you very much.